My fellow Americans, we are at a critical moment in our history. The choices we make now will define our future.
The American dream is a narrative deeply embedded in our culture, but rarely does it feature a protagonist who emerges from the margins of society, carrying the weight of multiple worlds on his shoulders, to sit at the absolute center of global power. Most politicians are manufactured in backrooms or groomed through generations of wealth, but Barack Obama's story is one of radical self-invention. He began as an outsider, a man born to a mother from Kansas and a father from Kenya, growing up in the sun-drenched multicultural landscape of Hawaii and the dense, complex streets of Indonesia. He was a boy who looked different, felt different, and spent his formative years trying to bridge the gap between who he was and where he belonged. This search for identity would become the engine of his life, fueling a curiosity that eventually led him to the south side of Chicago. Chicago was his crucible. While his Ivy League peers were chasing corporate careers, a young Obama chose to be a community organizer. This wasn't a glamorous path. It was a brutal ground-level education in the realities of poverty and systemic neglect. Walking the streets of neighborhoods hollowed out by the loss of steel jobs, he didn't just learn about politics. He learned about people. He realized that the most powerful form of change doesn't come from grand speeches in marble halls, but from the quiet, persistent work of bringing people together to demand better for themselves. He was constantly told that he was too idealistic, that the system was too entrenched to change, and that his background, his name, his color, his lack of traditional pedigree, would be an insurmountable barrier. He ignored them. He went to law school, navigated the halls of academia, and then leaped into the shark-filled waters of Illinois state politics. The jump to the national stage in 2004 was a moment of pure lightning-strike destiny. His keynote address at the Democratic National Convention didn't just make him a star, it rewrote the political dictionary. He spoke of an America that wasn't defined by red states or blue states, but by a shared promise of progress. Yet the road to the White House was far more treacherous than the public saw. Every step of his campaign was a fight against the status quo, and every victory felt like a challenge to a deeply ingrained racial hierarchy in American politics. When he stood in Grant Park in 2008, he wasn't just winning an election, he was shattering a glass ceiling that had been reinforced for over 2 centuries. But the victory was only the beginning of the struggle. He entered office in the shadow of the Great Recession, with a banking system on the verge of collapse and 2 wars raging abroad. The presidency of Barack Obama was defined by the relentless, suffocating friction of a nation that was deeply divided. His signature legislative achievement, the Affordable Care Act, was not won through easy consensus. It was fought for in the trenches of a polarized Congress, with every vote a battle and every policy concession a scar. He faced an unprecedented level of obstruction, much of it steeped in the toxic racialized undertones that still lingered in the American discourse. Being the first black president meant he had to be the most disciplined, the most articulate, and the most composed person in every room, because for him, the margin for error didn't exist. He carried the aspirations of millions, knowing that any perceived failure wouldn't just be his own, it would be used to discredit an entire demographic of people. Throughout his 8 years, he mastered the art of no-drama governance, but behind the scenes, he was managing crises that would have broken lesser leaders. From the haunting tragedy of Sandy Hook to the global complexity of the Arab Spring and the climate crisis, he had to navigate a world that was moving faster than the institutions designed to contain it. He didn't fix everything, and he didn't escape the fray unscathed. He left office with a mixed legacy of profound transformation and unresolved tension. Yet his story remains a testament to the fact that progress is not a straight line. It is a struggle, a climb that requires both the audacity to believe in something better and the grit to endure the long, dark nights of doubt that come before the dawn. He changed the office of the presidency, but more importantly, he forced the nation to look in the mirror and ask itself what it was truly capable of becoming.